What's up, everybody? Today we're here on the Europe server account because today I'm going to show you two different teams for each one of the different rune farming dungeons in the Dimension Hole. So, Forest of Roaring Beasts, Sanctuary of Dreaming Fairies, and Cliff of Sweaty, Hairy Beastmen. Tough beastmen. Listen, I was so close. I was really close. So there's a couple reasons that we're going to do this today. Number one, I've been wanting to do like a mixture of different things as far as content, not just summon, or like Guild Wars or RTA. I want to do like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of different things for the channel to show you guys a bunch of different stuff, you know, every so often instead of just seeing the same thing over and over and over again every single day. Number two is on this account, I already second awakened the things that I wanted to second awaken on here, and my energy was getting capped, and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? My energy is getting capped. I don't want to second awaken anything else. Let's build some rune farming teams so we can actually farm the runes, because this energy shouldn't really be going to waste because it's such valuable energy. It's more valuable than the normal energy, right? This one's more important to farm with because you get better stuff from here, right? So I built some teams, and I was farming a little bit on stream, and people kept asking me about my teams on stream, and I'm like, oh, this is just the Europe server account. I'm just farming this so I don't like get capped on energy and it stops refilling, right? So people were very curious. So I thought today, let's go through different teams, 2 teams for each dungeon, one faster, one slower, or maybe, yeah, one faster, one slower. And then if they're similar speed, I'll show you guys on like my main. I'll show you a different team or whatever. So anyway, let's get it started. First team, this is for Forest of Roaring Beasts level 5. This is more of a stable team, and you can use a couple different units. In addition to this, you can use Skogul. Some people like to use Skogul, some people like to use Rakuni, some people like to use Harmonia and Triana in addition to this, or in replacement of some of these different units, like maybe instead of the Darien. So each one has its pros and cons. Maybe we'll take a look at some other things, other variations. One of the drawbacks of this is that the longer it goes, the more the boss is going to permanently increase his attack power. So that's not great. So a lot of people like to speed run this, and a lot of people have been that farm this dungeon all the time and actually like buy the energy refreshes with crystals. Actually use speed farming teams, and I'll show you the speed farming team. The reason that I'm not super crazy about doing a speed farming team on my alt, for example, is you need a lot. It's not super reliable unless you have very rune efficient, very efficient runes, very rune efficient runes. Can you tell I'm tired? Look at my face, like, those eyelids look really droopy. Yeah, they are really droopy. So yeah, if I make less sense than usual. Nah, I'm gonna make less sense. I'm always gonna make less sense than usual, right? So anyway, I'll show you guys the other team, but I'm like, I don't really feel like the runes are quite where I want them to be for doing that faster, more YOLO team, right? Because the faster YOLO team is significantly faster than this. However, it is faster and more YOLO, right? So we have the defense breaks, we have the attack power buffs, and we have Hua should do pretty decent damage. There we go, and Kamoon should finish him off. And then I like to target this Fire Nagami first here. Fire Nagami's kind of dangerous. He can go crazy, right? So let's do that. Let's do one of those, and then, well, we violent proc also. I was playing around with this with the Vigor. Vigor's actually pretty decent in here, but the thing with him is he needs to be tanky, because things are gonna hit him a lot, right? Especially the wind units, like Ramagos is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna hit that Vigor, and then there's 2 wind units that come in after this, Tashar and Legmaron, and they're like, oh, I want to hit that Vigor too, the Water Werewolf. So the thing with him is I have him on a speed crit damage HP build, and I'm like, on this account, without the towers being maxed and everything, I'm not super crazy about him being speed crit damage HP over here, because he takes too much damage, and it's kind of like you're letting it a little bit too much RNG for that, right? So there we go there. And then we have Kamoon. Kamoon is super good here. Camoon's just, I think this Camoon isn't even like, he's not even anything crazy. He's not even maxed or anything. He's just, Camoon is super good, right? So let's take a look at his stats. Boom, boom. But yeah, I think his shield is not even maxed. So actually, we didn't really have to do that turn order for the boss, for the last stage. So 316, not a Stone Cold flashbacks. Not a crazy time, right? I think this Camoon is not even like, look at this Camoon runes. He's not even skilled up. Not skilled up, not skilled up. There's 2 Camoons on this account, but one is not runed. I mean, one is missing 2 runes. That's why I'm like, oh, let's just not throw that in. He's more skilled up, but I'm like... So, but the thing is, Camoon works pretty decently with a whole bunch of different wacky rune builds, right? So this actually, this would be much better if he had skill ups, don't get me wrong. It would be even better, but as long as he's fast and tanky. By the way, Camoon actually scales on attack speed. I don't know if you guys knew that for his first skill. So does Hua. Darren is just there for damage mitigation. He was just there for whatever runes that I had on him. I'm not sure why he's specifically on the shield and revenge. Revenge is good for R5. Shield is good for not R5 really, so I'm not quite sure why he's shield and revenge. Specific? Oh, maybe it was for... Was it for arena defense? I don't know what it was for. That for. This is the RTA. This is just for... That must be new then. That must be a new rune. So this is just what I use on her RTA. That's why she's so fast. She doesn't really need to be quite that fast. And then Hua's just on whatever Hua's on. Speed, crit damage, HP. And that's that for the runes on that. Now I'm going to show you a faster team that's a little bit more YOLO. This next team is much faster. However, I know you guys are very excited. Like, oh, much faster. Yeah, why'd you show us the other team? But this team is much faster. This is more of an end game team. I would not consider running this. This is not a team that I would run on this account. This Europe server alt. This is not a team that I run. This is an end game team. It's very YOLO. There's no heals. There's no sustain aside from like the vampire. Garo's on vampire, but that's about it as far as that's concerned. He's just on speed, crit damage, attack. These are the stats. Garo's not too bad. However, the efficiency on, like, Shayna doesn't have the rune efficiency to even really be able to do this, right? She's not going to be able to survive anything. She's very squishy. Fire Nagami, same thing. The runes are not maxed. He's missing skill ups. They're missing grinds, all that stuff, right? So they're not efficient enough to actually make this team work consistently for this dungeon. I'm going to show it to you though, because this is an endgame dungeon team. But again, this is not a very... If you don't have the runes and the tower upgrades to pull this off, I would recommend just going slower, safer, instead of just trying to YOLO this team, be like, why isn't this working? And fail and fail and fail, and your unit die and die and die and die, because this is really only for endgame players. So let's take a look at what it does. It's faster, but you need the rune efficiency to actually be able to succeed with this team. Which really for mid-game accounts, it's very hard to get the rune efficiency to succeed any YOLOing this dungeon, right? So it's better to just do a little bit slower and consistent and not like waste your dimensional hole energy. Let's just go for the boss. Boss. Decrease tech age, team up. There we go. Let's go boss again. Yeah, we targeted. All right, let's see. And we survive. The boy who lived. Can we continue to survive there? We got some stunts. We got another one. And let's see what happens with this third wave. Let's hit the boss again. Let's see. And then everyone dies. I was kind of right. Everyone dies, right? So this is what I was saying. This is not a consistent enough team. We can maybe pull something out, but I don't even. Yeah, but this is not a consistent enough team unless you have the towers, the rune efficiency to actually make this work. This is a very fast end game team, but you do need to maximize all the juice that you have at your disposal with this team. Here we are on the main. There's no logo. We are on the main. It's the same team. I know this works because I've used it on my main. before, so I know this team works. This is not the speed tuning that I was using this on before though. Shayna was much faster. This is speed tuned for Dragon's V10 because she's very slow, but she does decent damage, right? So that's speed tuned actually for Dragon's V10. This is fairly similar, right? A little bit faster, but basically the same. And then the other units are basically the same, but they're a little bit more upgraded as far as stat-wise, right? A little bit more stats, and then fire. I have no idea what's on. Oh, never mind. Never mind. He's worse, actually. He's worse. I don't really use him too much. You don't ever see me using Fire Nagami on the main, though. So, yeah, he's missing. He doesn't have grinds or anything, but not a unit that I really use on the main anyway. I should, because he's a fun unit to play with, but yeah, he doesn't have upgrades or anything. So aside from that, it should be better. Let's see how it does. Let's see how it does. But I already ran this team though. I'm ranked 400 and something on the leaderboards with this team, so I know it works. But that was when it was actually speed tuned, right? It's not correctly speed tuned now because Shayna's supposed to be moving first. I would have to put her on Swift to be faster than the Gara though. So. Anyway, and it would be nice to have like a set of shield on something as well. Because shield is nice, like a 2 set of shield. I think that was actually what Shayna might have been on first. But it's really nice to have a 2 set of shield if you are running a dungeon without a healer, right? So we got the team up, we got the Chakram Crush, we got a little bit of a stun. We got a little bit of a stun on ourselves as well. Let's see if we can kill the boss. Thank you. That took a little bit too long though, to kill the boss. Again, we could have had the upgrades on the whatchamacallits. I don't know what whatchamacallits. Oh, we could have speed tuning, right? So we did already lose the Shayna though. We do still have a defense break as long as we get it. We got a team up, and then there you go, and then that kills the boss. So it's a different story when you're running it on something that has better stats, better runes, better towers. Minute and 8 seconds. So, again, it's more of an end game team though. It's not really and even a minute and 8 seconds without proper speed tuning and with crap Fire Nagami, right? So it's a decent team, but it's not really something that I would run for early to mid game because you're not gonna have the stats to pull it off. Speaking from experience with the budget Fire Nagami, man, now I really gotta work on that Fire Nagami because that's an embarrassing Fire Nagami. Again, I'm not really a unit that I use too much, although I use them for this. Anyway, let's go on. Let's stop this. Let's go on to the next team. On to the next dungeon. Sanctuary of Dreaming Fairies. Again, we're on the main right now. I'm going to go switch off between this one and the other account as well. This is a team that people were using in the beginning. This is kind of a YOLO speed team that people were using. Well, not necessarily the Water Chimera, but as a YOLO speed team that people were using in the beginning. It is a little bit too YOLO for me. I'm not really super crazy about YOLO in these dungeons because like you're not going to be using, you don't have unlimited energy, right? If you had unlimited energy and it wasn't an issue, then I'd be like, yo, you got to have minute teams, you got to be super fast, no excuses, right? But it's like you only have, unless you're refilling, you have 12 per day, right? Because you get 1 energy every 2 hours. So you don't have to have crazy fast teams. But some people still want to have crazy fast teams. They're like, yo, I got a lot of other stuff I got to farm in this game, right? So this is one team, though. This is a team that people were using in the beginning. They changed kind of to a different team, though, after the fact. So there's another one that people are running now that is wind units in here, which we'll take a look at in a second. But this is a, yeah, you got a defense break. Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, Fran's gonna get a turn. No, Fran's gonna get a turn. Oh my god. Oh, never mind. Right. So this is more of the older, a minute team, right? More the older team for this, the older team for this dungeon. When it first came out, but people have kind of progressed to using. Let's take a look at what the runes. I'm scared to look at these girls, man. Right. So this is kind of more like, and yeah, he's got shield though. He's got shield. I like shield on things where don't have healers though. But let's take a look at a different team, a different team. We'll take a look at a couple teams for this. Here's option number 1 though. Now the first team was very YOLO and it's gonna be very hard to replicate if you do not have good rune efficiency. The second team is another one. Personally, I do not run this team, but I know people enjoy to run this team, so I'm showing you guys this team. This is Orochi, Yen, Bernard, and Chasun. Basically what's gonna happen is Bernard's going to speed buff, Chasun's gonna move next, attack power buff, and then Orochi and Yen should do big damage based on speed. Let's take a look and see what it does. I had to like ghetto rune all this stuff. I don't want you guys thinking that like I'm running this all the time with it. Oh, she's not speed tuned correct. Well, of course she's not speed tuned correctly because I had to, again, I had to rune it wacky to make sure that it actually, I thought it was speed tuned though. But anyway, this is a team that people use. I think Island Grown is actually using this. So if you want to check out his stream, I will leave a link to that in the description, and then you can go check out his stream and see his runes on it, because he runs this specific team though. No, we want to hit the boss. We want to hit the boss. We don't want to hit the minions. Let's actually do boss battle. Boss, because that's kind of the point of this, is we're just YOLOing, right? So that's that. Fallen Blossoms. Oh, I mean, Fallen Blossoms! Can't do it without that, right? So we got the Muse, we got the whatevers, we got a bunch of speed-based damage though, speed-based damage, and this is apparently more consistent than the other one, right? Or it's more reliable than the other one, at least, from what I'm told. But again, I do not run that. Pretty decent damage from Orochi, and he's just he's actually attack or damage attack with speed and subs though, so I would like to actually see how reliable this actually is, because it looks like, oh no, he's tanky, right? He's kind of tanky. How reliable is it when Yen doesn't keep violent proccing? Okay. Well, it worked, but again, this is not like a team that I generally use. It's a team that I made sure I ruined and tried to speed tune for this video, and that's it. And now, as soon as we're done with this, I'm gonna go and change the runes back to what they were before. This is basically, Bernard is on speed crit damage attack for this. This is not Bernard that I use for arena offense, because this is way too slow for arena offense. Chasun was supposed to go next, but apparently... Oh, you know what? She's... Yeah, never mind. I didn't realize Chasun was that slow. And then this is just attack or damage. He does damage based on speed, though, but I needed to make him go after the Chasun and stuff for the attack power buff, right? That was the game plan anyway. Yen was supposed to go after Chasun anyway. This is not great stats on these units, though. I just had to, and it's also not skilled up and stuff like that. But again, I don't run this team. I haven't used her in forever. I don't use him. I don't use that, and I don't use any of these monsters. I just wanted to show you guys the team. But there's also other people that have. I know Island Grown has been using this team, so if you want to check out his runes, he's gonna have much more premium runes on it, especially that Yen, because I know Yen is on one of his best violent sets, whereas Yen is on like violent set number 349 for me. His is like violence at probably number 2 or something like that. Like, he loves that monster. Now we're back here on the Europe server again. I wanted to show you guys the other team for the Alunia, and then I'm like, people are gonna complain because there's Nat 5s in it. I did show the Water Chimera. You don't actually need the Water Chimera. You can do it with Susano if you don't have the Water. I should have mentioned, but Susano's a perfectly fine unit. Damage based on speed, right? Single target, big burst damage based on speed. Susano, very similar to Water Chimera in what they do, right? They both do single target burst damage based on speed. So anyway, I shouldn't have showed that. I should have showed it with the Susano. My apologies. But I was gonna show the other Alunia team. It's like it's got Tyrannus and Feng Yan, and I'm like, you guys are gonna complain that it's got too many Nat 5s in it, right? So I figured it'd better to just not show it. But if you want to see it, we could pop into stream and we could play around with it, right? Because that's the team that I actually on this Europe server account, I do like the slower, steadier, safer teams for these. Anyway, this is Cliff of Tough Beastmen. Let's show we're using Fran for the immunity and attack power buff. This is just the RTA runes on Fran. Again, I think we showed the Fran. I have no idea what's on Ajir. Okay, Ajir, we don't actually use Ajir for RTA or anything. Ajir's got some pretty fast runes considering we're not really using them too much aside from like Guild Wars sometimes. And then the Vigor, which is actually a new toy, which is not actually skilled up. We should skill this up, man. He needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skill ups. Okay, and his runes are not grinded or anything like that, right? So we have those there, and then we have the Molly, who is pretty skilled up, and she is on just stats. She doesn't need to be on any specific sets. Let's just start it. Let's see how it does, right? Vigor would be nice to have tankier though. Vigor is not quite where he needs to be for really anything. He really needs to be. Vigor's so good, but he kind of needs a lot of tech because you need him to be fast. You need him to be tanky. You need him to have crit rate and crit damage. So, I mean, you could use him with just like speed, HP, but then he doesn't really do a whole lot of damage with skill 3. So you kind of, to get the most out of him, you really want him to do damage with skill 3 too. But anyway, some of the units are a little trickier to rune than others. Anything that requires like fast and tanky and able to do some damage too, right? Like the Vigor and the Ajir, because they require a lot of stats as far as like speed, crit damage, crit rate, accuracy even, because they have some debuffs, and then HP, right? Because you want it to be a little bit tanky, because you want him to be able to take some hits from bosses and things. So let's see how this does. I mean, I already know how it does. This is kind of the one that I was playing around with more recently, and farming more recently because I wanted to get the runes from here. So, and we got the shred. We got a 3-turn defense break. But Vigor needs more. Vigor needs grinds. Vigor needs skill ups. Vigor needs everything. Yeah, again, he was just 6-starred like, I don't know, like a week ago or something like that. Just 6-starred. So, not quite using him in anything just yet. Well, I mean, we're using him, but we're not quite. He's not quite where he needs to be just yet. Oh, and I guess we're targeting the. I think we target the left units first in all of these dungeons. Actually, I mean not in all of these waves of the boss. Not dungeons. All the waves of the boss. Target the left one first. For this one anyway. Right? So, I just found it to be more reliable that way. But this is not a super fast speed team. This is just a consistent team. So, Tetra's kind of nice. Tetra's actually nice in more things than just RTA. People a lot of times get the misconception that like some units like Tetra and Ajir and Vigor are like, oh, that's RTA units. Like, that's not just RTA units. That's units that can be used in a lot of different stuff, not just RTA. Tetra's actually pretty good against the Light Paladin as well in Guild Wars. So, I think it's gonna, yeah, it just auto attacks the left-hand side one. That cat can do a lot of damage to Vigor or Ajir though. So, crit resist is kind of nice. There we go. Protects them a little bit from some extra unnecessary damage. And Fran's gonna take some damage, okay. But the crit resist is pretty big here. So, there we go. And then, yep. But it's nice because it's nice to have water units here. However, this cat man, well, not the cat man, however this cat is gonna, you know, do a lot of damage to those water units. But we can handle it. That's why it's kind of nice to have more HP than what we currently have on these things. So let's see. We're not dead. We're totally fine. We need to get that defense break though. Got the confiscate, but we need that skill 3 from Vigor, which I guess he does not have available just yet. All right. Boom, boom. Again, it's not like a super fast team. It's just a team that I found was reliable on this account out of what we had. So, there we go. And we'll see how we do here. How many crazy... Oh my god, so many debuffs, right? But Tetra's got the cleanse and she's got a heal. So it's fine. And we've got some of those. But yeah, even that Fran is pretty tanky. And she took some damage. I mean, she could have higher defense, but we also don't have a tankiness leader skill. We have the speed lead. So let's see. Yeah, we took a decent amount of damage. And goodbye, Fran. Even if Fran dies, we can still do just fine. We can still beat the dungeon. But HP lead skill would help them to take some more damage, obviously. Skilled up your arena towers would help take more damage as well. Long team, man. Long time. Long time, slow team. But it would be faster if we had more defense breaks. So we'll show another team on the main though for this as well. Similar team, but yeah, 4 minutes 57 seconds. But it does the dungeon, and it's pretty consistent as well. Even though it seems like oh, things were gonna die, but even if they die, it still can clear the dungeon. Now we're back here on the main. We are gonna go all YOLO. So this is gonna be much faster. However, this is gonna be less consistent. This is gonna be just YOLO, trying to be big damage, right? So let's see. We got the anytime this Inugami moves though, he's gonna bring a lot of damage with him. Right, and then he's gonna team up. Everyone does big damage. She gets another turn, and then they finally get a turn, and they can do twins can do twins things, right? Let's do Predator's Cry. Okay. So the reason the Vigor brings a little bit of sustain into there, not a crazy amount of sustain, but a little bit of sustain, right? So we're just like chewing through everything, which gets to be a problem as soon as you get to the boss because he's going to attack. And he's gonna just destroy everything, right? So we're hoping to get. Well, I was hoping to get the crit rate. The crit resist before this, but we got some water units, so we're okay. And then we do the Predator's Cry. So now we have the crit resist. So now we should be fine. And then we still go on boss. We got the crit resist though, so we should be okay. And we take a couple debuffs though, which is not great. And we got the cleanse, and then we got the team up, and then we got additional third, and then we have the shred, and that should actually that's probably the new best time because I don't really use this this team. So there we go, new best time. There you go. So this is another. It's you guys can see what it is. Let's take a look at the runes on here. This guy actually, I'm curious what his runes are. He should be better than the alt. Oh, he's not skilled up either. Excuses. I really like Vigor too. So he's got speed, crit damage, HP, but at least they're grinded, right? At least they're grinded. 26 speed. What do we have here? 15 speed. At least they're grinded. Could use some skill ups. Really need some skill ups. What are the twins runes? Attack, crit damage, attack. These are for dungeons. This one is attack, crit damage, attack. Again for. I'm learning, so every time I do a video, I'm learning so much about my units that are not fully skilled up, right? And then he's on, we saw him early. Not skilled up, all the two-way stuff. I'm like, I'm not gonna Devilmon all these two-ways. I need more Devilmons is the thing. Comps was trying to sell those Devilmon packs. They're like, Bagel, you didn't Devilmon your two-ways. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know I didn't Devilmon my two-ways. Anyway, there you go. Several different teams. Did we show one of each? No, we did. Yeah, kind of. We showed one faster and one slower team for each of the dungeons. I don't know if some people maybe got some ideas from it, right? There's more than just a couple teams that you can use in these dungeons, but at least it gives you hopefully some ideas on, oh, well, you know, maybe you're more mid to end game and you're like, oh, I can definitely do some of these faster teams. I can definitely do them. Or maybe if you're like, I can't quite do those faster teams, I'm going to go with like the slower, steadier teams. I've done different videos like this before in the past of these dimensional, well, not this one necessarily. I don't think this Tough Beastman, but I know I did the other ones. But anyway, just people have been asking about it, and I want to do some more dimensional hole content. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you guys got something out of it. That's it for this one. I will see you as always in the next one.